Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be doing an hour with this Fiesta ST. Stage 1, got a few cool upgrades, we'll look at them in a minute. And the car actually belongs to a friend of mine, Tom. You've seen him probably in the Yaris hour with and also the Corolla T-Sport. Well, this is his third car. It's a Fiesta ST Mk7 and it's a great car, so let's take a look. Okay, so here's Tom's Fiesta ST Mk7. Now, you're probably going to notice one thing straight away. This doesn't look like any other Mk7 because the wheels are slightly different. But before we go talking about the modifications, let's just sort of talk about the car. We'll have a little look around some of the nice features on it, and then we look at the modifications. Now, looking at the front, they do look pretty fresh still, and you know, they look pretty aggressive. Coming around the side, we can see the Tom's has actually got the style pack, I think it's called, with the red calipers, front and rear. Coming around the rear, the ST models, I think some of the lower models do too. It comes with the nice spoiler and obviously the ST badging. We've got a nice diffuser down the bottom, honeycomb grille. So yeah, it does look pretty good. And also down the bottom, we've got some sporty skirts. So that's just a quick overview of the outside. Let's take a little look at the interior. Okay, so coming to the inside of this Fiesta, we can see the normal Ford Fiesta interior. As you can see, a manual gearbox, so that's always nice to have. I do miss a manual. Obviously, Steve-O being a dual clutch, it's nice to have a go of a manual now and then. And then we have these Fiesta ST Recaro bucket seats. Got a nice Sony head unit, aircon, and all the modern features you'd expect from a hot hatch. Now, you've probably seen a Fiesta ST review on the internet before, so we're not going to go into the details of every Fiesta ST, but rather we're going to let Tom tell us now what's different about his Fiesta ST compared to everyone else's. So, first thing, those wheels. Where'd you get them from?
I bought them off a mate of mine. She's got the Mark 8 Fiesta ST and she wanted new wheels. So I picked them up at a very reasonable price for what they are.
What tyres have you got on there?
Michelin Sport 4s.
And how do they handle?
Much better than any tyre this car's had on it before.
These wheels are slightly bigger than standard, aren't they?
Yeah.
Were they 1 inch bigger?
18s, yeah, rather than the standard 17s.
How would you say the handling's been affected since putting those wheels on?
I have, if anything. I don't know if it's just because I've got the better tyre, compound and everything on there, but I can't fault it at all.
No. Whereas
with some cars you buy, you know, you put bigger wheels on them and it totally ruins the handling.
Yeah.
You know, like I experienced in the first hour with video with my Yaris when I used to have the Corolla T-Sport 16-inch alloys.
Yeah.
And you just understeered like a pig.
Yeah. So when you changed the wheels on your little Yaris, the handling was absolutely horrendous once you had done that. But you're saying obviously with these wheels, you haven't noticed a negative impact. It's actually better. Yeah.
Got well, I was a previous owner has obviously spent some money, you know, some hard-earned money on the Mountune exhaust, which, as far as I can tell, since having this Fiesta, is not very common.
No. And
not many people seem to have them, and they seem to be pretty sought after.
Yeah. Quite expensive exhaust, aren't they?
I think they're about £300 to £400, which I suppose is not
too bad then.
Not too bad, but like I said, it was all to do with warranty when they were new.
Yeah. Do you want to give it a little rev so we can see what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Cheers, Tom. So yeah, that sounds pretty nice. I'm not sure how it's going to come across on the camera, but when you're just sat here revving it, it's not too loud. But when you're driving it, you know, it's not intrusive, let's say. You can still enjoy the car as it was designed, but when you do put your foot down, you do get a little bit more exhaust note, and it's quite a nice sound. So I would recommend that. I'm very, very fussy on exhausts. Now, you probably noticed on the channel, I've never had a car with a very loud exhaust because I had a Subaru once and it used to give me a migraine every time I drove it with a straight pipe. And I've never ever since wanted a loud exhaust, but I could live with that, and I'm really fussy, so I could recommend that. I've driven the car and it sounds pretty nice, but you'll see what it sounds like later on when we take you for the spin. Now, Tom's just at the engine bay, so let's take a look at that, because this isn't just the standard Fiesta ST. 1.6 litre turbocharged engine. They make about 189, isn't it, standard?
I think so. 185.
Something like that, yeah.
189, give or take.
This is actually stage 1 though, isn't it? Mountune.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was sold from the dealer, said it was Mountune, and it's got a couple of Mountune parts, so we're gonna say yeah, it is. It feels like it's remapped because I've been in the standard one, and this feels, you know, quite a bit punchier, well, torquier rather, than a standard one. So I would say it is definitely remapped, and it was sold as being remapped. So just in the engine bay, we can see a pod filter here, a GFB kit, I believe that is. And it's obviously got the heat shield as well. So that's where some of the turbo noises come from, I'd imagine. And yeah, it does sound pretty good. So sounds great. Everyone wants turbo noises from their car, and if you want turbo noises, a Fiesta ST with a cone filter is the perfect car. Tom, you went from a Corolla T-Sport beforehand. Now, we both had Corolla T-Sports in the past. I've got an hour with video on a Corolla T-Sport that was actually Tom's, and they're awesome cars. We loved them, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Now, this was exactly the same power figure. How would you say this car compares, same power, to the Corolla? Running costs, handling, performance, fun?
Running cost wise, I mean, I'd probably say the Fiesta is better on fuel.
Yeah.
Especially on a, on a run.
Yeah.
With, with the
Would make
shorter
sense.
ratios in the Corolla.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Rowan already stated, power figure in standard form, they're exactly the same more or less. Obviously, you could sit in the higher gears in the Fiesta, obviously with it being turbocharged.
Yeah.
You haven't got to drop down gears. The only thing I do miss about the Corolla, if I'm being honest, is how fun it was to drive, just because you were literally driving on the limit constantly for it to go anywhere.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm actually insured now. I've upgraded my insurance so I can drive the cars in the Hour With video. So I'm actually going to drive this time, and I'll tell you what I think of the car. Cheers, let's go. Oh, it's so nice to be able to actually drive the cars.
Knowing that you don't matter what happens, like you can smash into a roundabout and you're covered, like.
Well, yeah, I'm fully calm.
Not you'd want to do that, like.
I'm not planning on crashing your car.
No, I trust you driving enough, but
Okay, so I have driven Fiesta STs in the past, and I gotta be honest, they do handle nice. But one thing I always find difficult to get my head around is the driving position. Like, it's not like, in my opinion, it's not like a normal car. Like, it's nothing like a Fiesta ST, is it?
No.
Like the way the seats are, the wheel.
Yeah, no.
It's very like, very abstract. And that's another thing I always do. The clutch is so aggressive for a standard car. I got 3 vehicles and I drive 4 or 5 regular. And the clutch in a Fiesta is the most harsh out of all of them. Pretty refined. Setting off, yeah, quite a nice car. You got your aircon, automatic climate control, you got nice comfy seats, heated seats as well. But you didn't really come here, I'm pretty sure, to hear about how comfy the seats were. Let's see how it handles. Is it fast? Question number 1. Yeah, it's pretty quick. It is fast. Is it like, oh my word, I absolutely cannot believe how powerful this car is, and I'm cacking myself? No. But, you know, if you want a car that quick, well, apart from a C63 AMG, I don't think there's many things out there that would make you feel that, unless you build a car. But it is quick. It's got a nice power band. We're going up a steep hill, 2nd gear, low revs. And yeah, it's quick. It's got enough power to break traction in 2nd gear. So, you know, quite fun. You gotta manage the grip. What I've in my personal opinion, what I think makes a fun car is having a car that's got more power than it can get down. Now my Fiat Punto only had 80 horsepower, but the handling was even worse. So it was quite fun. Whereas like Steve-O's got about 300 horsepower, but it can get all of the power down everywhere, all the time. And honestly, it ain't always that fun, because you just sat there, not really doing a lot. But this car's already, I can tell you, is fun. We're going to go now to some twisty roads, and we're going to get a proper feel for the car. It's got good front axle grip. It's very, very stable, but the inside wheel really wants to spin up. But that is a characteristic of any fast front wheel drive car. Fitting a limited slip diff to this car would make it a whole nother weapon. But for an out of box package, I'm impressed. You know,
like I said, you can use it every day, just like when I was working for a building company.
Right, we're going up a big, sorry to interrupt you, we're going up a big bypass now. Whoa, flip. That front axle just let go, like. Once that, whoa. Aquaplane.
I will be honest though, these tyres don't like the wet.
No, I can see that.
Give them a dry day, and you know, they'll be pulling you everywhere. Like.
Once that front axle lets go, it's gone. Like, it's not modulating it, it's just gone. And then but the good thing about this chassis, you lift, and not only does the front sort of regain traction, but the rear starts to rotate as well. Now, that means that the chassis is adjustable. So when you're in the corners, as a driver, you can actually have a considerable input on whether the car understeers or oversteers. And that is a sign of a well set up chassis. And even in that little corner there, I went around the corner with my foot on the power, because that's what you've got to do in an Evo basically. And then I obviously realised I'm not in an Evo once it started to understeer. But when I did lift my foot off the pedal, immediately
Just dug in.
Got the traction again. The rear started to rotate and it corrected. So that's really all you can ask for from a front wheel drive chassis on the road. And the thing is with this car, it's not only is it like 200 horsepower, turbo noises, handles well, comfortable, but the running costs, they're as cheap as any other car really. Like Tom was saying the other day, what sort of MPG were you getting the other day on a run?
Basically, I did a trip to Tempe for a day out with my daughter, my partner, and on the way up and back I was averaging 49.7 miles per gallon.
49.7, exactly. So it's like, you can use it as a normal car and not feel guilty about it. Now, I took Steve out today to a car meet, local, well, a car event rather, and I wasn't going fast, I was just cruising, and we were getting 23 to the gallon, and I'm not complaining about it, but it's not, you can't take that car out and daily drive it and not feel guilty. We're only sticking 60 quid in it every couple of days, fuel. It does get annoying. But with a car like this, you could drive it every day to work and have a bit of fun on the way home. It is a perfect middle ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get in the performance and the handling, but you're not paying a penalty. Just to recap then, we're coming to the end of this video. Performance, awesome for a daily car. When you're thinking 200 horsepower, but you get 40-50 to the gallon, cheap tax, cheap insurance, cannot fault it, great power. Fuel economy, great. Comfort, great. Handling, very adjustable, very predictable, and fun. I would say the limits of grip are not like amazingly impressive coming out of my Evo on 88 hours, but it is good, and we are in the wet. The handling, the chassis is adjustable, which is all you can really ask for. So yeah, I'm impressed with the car and I do like it, but I will say some negatives now, because you know, it's good to hear the negatives and the positives about cars. The brakes on this particular car, they're appalling.
Oh yes.
They're crud.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It's just a needs must there, and then they will do.
Well, I don't know if that's you or that's the Ford Fiesta. To be honest, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only downside. It's a great car. It's a good, well-rounded package.
Yeah.
And one improvement, it's not a downside, because most cars, front-wheel drive cars, don't have them. It's not a criticism, but it's something I would put in if I had one of these. First thing I would do, I'd put an LSD in this car.
That is also in the works.
Yeah.
At some point. That's
LSD
what I'd like to do.
and some nice pads, and this car's a proper quick little car.
Nice.
So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit different for me because I got to talk and drive. I'm not usually in the driver's seat. But yeah, an enjoyable drive. Thanks Tom for lending me a Fiesta.
That's right.
And we'll probably see him again when he either crashes here or buys another car.
Yeah, I'll just turn up with another car in a different video.
Yeah, so thanks again Tom, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another one. Cheers guys.